The United States remains committed to Kazakhstan's sovereignty and supports its multi-vector foreign policy, said Deborah Robinson, chargé d'affaires of the U.S. mission to Kazakhstan in her exclusive interview with New Time. The American diplomat emphasized Washington's interest in deepening trade and security ties with Central Asia, including investment in Kazakhstan's rare earth sector. But how does this position align with America's growing protectionist policies and rising tariffs on Kazakh exports? Is the US competing with Russia and China for influence in the region? To find out, watch the full interview on our YouTube channel. But first, here are the highlights of our conversation with Madame Chargé. So how does US see its role in Central Asian region? I mean, is it about competing with China and Russia, or is it building a distinct, independent agenda?
Yeah, that's a good question. And having spent quite a bit of time in the region, this is something that I am often asked. And I would say it's not about competing with any other country here in Central Asia. It's about representing American interests and ensuring that we are working together to build strong partnerships in areas of mutual interest. The United States has been involved in Central Asia for quite some time, and we are committed to having a strong partnership. We believe that Central Asia should be a strong integrated region that can work together with the United States. As I mentioned, 10 years ago is actually the 10th anniversary of the United States Central Asia C5+1 diplomatic platform partnership, and this is a partnership that Secretary Rubio has said is a mechanism to make a more peaceful and prosperous Central Asia. So that's what we want to see. We want to work together with our Central Asia partners for that. And beyond regional integration, though, we encourage education, English learning education, tech partnerships, security partnerships, and educational exchanges, and other programs that we think work to our mutual benefit. So we think we have a unique role to play here in Central Asia, and we want to be a strong partner for the mutual benefit of the region and the United States.
Talking precisely about U.S.-Kazakhstan relations, how did it evolve over the past decades, in your opinion?
Yeah, Kazakhstan's been a reliable partner and a key partner for the United States since independence, over 30 years ago. And if there's been an evolution in Washington's thinking on Kazakhstan, it is just that Kazakhstan has become a stronger partner, and one in where we continue to uncover new areas of mutual interest. And I think those interests lie in many areas. I would say bilateral U.S.-Kazakhstan trade and investment, critical minerals and mining, energy, infrastructure, and other areas where we have mutual interests. And I think we'll continue to look forward. We continue to look forward to working with Kazakhstan to increase our ties and to work together in areas that make both of our countries safer, secure, stronger, and more prosperous.
We see that now it's pretty turbulent times. We see a lot of polarization, confrontations, wars. What is the U.S. message to Kazakhstan? Is it pick a side or stay neutral?
The United States won't ask Kazakhstan to choose sides. We welcome Kazakhstan's multi-vector foreign policy. We, the United States, we are committed to supporting Kazakhstan's sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity. And that's a message that Secretary Rubio conveyed to Foreign Minister Nurtlu in their phone conversation here just a couple weeks ago. And I think that's one of the things that we would say is that we encourage Kazakhstan to have diversified and balanced international relations, and to have a strong relationship with the United States. And we see those two things as not mutually exclusive, but mutually inclusive, actually.
Talking about supporting sovereignty and multi-vectoral policy, how does it look in practice?
how does multi-vector foreign policy
Yes.
look in practice?
I mean, support from the U.S.
Oh, support from the U.S. Well, I think that we are looking for areas consistently with Kazakhstan, areas where we can work together. And I mentioned some of those fields here earlier. And I think that that's what we want to do is to identify those areas where they are mutually beneficial, and then create atmospheres where we can then work together to gain those opportunities and to fulfill those opportunities for both our people, our companies, our governments, kind of across all of those areas. Those are ways that we want to cooperate in order to strengthen our bilateral relationship.
Let us move to another topic,
Okay.
the topic of trade and tariffs.
Okay.
So my first question would be, what is U.S. long-term strategy on tariffs? I mean, is Washington truly ready to restructure global trade, or what is it?
Well, I think the White House is looking to recalibrate international trade to ensure that it's fair and balanced and that it protects American interests, American people, American companies, our industrial base, and our national security. And the United States welcomes trading partners who align with our efforts to create fair and balanced trade atmospheres between countries. And the United States is doing this in order to address the imbalances and to try to make the market environment more predictable and more transparent. And that in the long term is better for everyone. It creates an environment in where investors can feel like they are safe in investing and where companies want to work. And so I think the White House is looking at holistically at trade imbalances and trying to make them more fair and even-handed.
But how could it affect the economic ties with Kazakhstan and the investment environment here?
Right. I would say I think it's important to note that most of the trade between Kazakhstan and the United States is in categories that are exempt from tariffs. So that's important to know. But I think that nonetheless, we would encourage Kazakhstan to continue to take steps to create an atmosphere here to align with international best practices in trade. And in doing so, that will attract more American investors and more business. American businesses want to know that they're going into a place where their investments will be protected. And I think that that's part of what the White House is trying to do when it's addressing some of these trade imbalances, is to make sure that there's a level playing field for all companies, but obviously from our point of view for American companies.
But still, we have the highest tariffs among all Central Asian countries, 27%. What is the reason behind this?
I think that it's just the matter of what the trade is between Kazakhstan and the United States. And it's the way that the White House looked at the numbers, and they looked at the trade imbalance, and it just means that the trade imbalance was more with Kazakhstan than it was with other countries in Central Asia, and the United States and the White House is seeking to right that balance.